Hello, sparrows. Hello, sparrows. It's Wisdom Wednesday. Welcome to the room. I am Valerie Miller of TVM, the Valerie Miller, double fault. This very moment, you have opportunity to change. We have a great night set up for tonight. Yes, we do. We have Felicity Love coming in from Atlanta. It's going to be a juicy. I have been pumping her up on my timeline all day long. So come on in, sparrows, come on in, get cozy, and prepare to be shaken, be stirred. All of this juiciness, okay? Just come on in and be ready. Felicity and I have been waiting to connect for the past couple of years, and now we have opportunity to do so tonight. And I tell you what, I'm excited. So come on in. Come on in. Tell me where you're watching, viewing from. Be sure to do that if you're followers of Felicity, and also put hashtag visitor. For all of you veterans, be sure to put hashtag veterans, and if you're newbies, hashtag newbies. So I'm really excited. We're talking about consciousness and the sharing of our memoirs with the world. It takes someone to be bold, someone to be courageous, and in a very vulnerable space to be able to do that. And I'm speaking from experience. And of course, you're going to be able to witness that with Felicity as well. So she should be in the room momentarily. I cannot wait to get her in here so we can get started. I'm excited. Kim, I see you. I see you. DSK. Thank you so much.
Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
Fabulous, darling. How about yourself?
I'm great. No complaints.
No. You see this big grin?
Yes. You see mine?
Over the top. Diane Kelly, welcome in. Veronica Morris. Everybody, welcome in. It's going to be juicy tonight, Felicie. It's going to be good.
Yes, it
It's
is.
going to be good.
It's
How
gonna
are
be
you feeling?
good. I'm good. I'm always a little nervous. I don't know why, but I'm
It's
always a little nervous.
me.
But
Well, you
once
know
we,
what? I am too, until we get on.
right,
It's just us talking. It's no different than, if we were side by side,
right. I get it. I get
which we
it.
are
Right,
here.
right.
And before we jump right on into Juicy, before we jump in, because I almost leapt right into it. I almost leapt right into it. Sparrows, you're not even going to believe how we met. You won't. You won't. But then you shouldn't be surprised when it comes to me. I meet
Right.
people at the most unopportune places
Yeah, me too. So, yeah.
because we are too much alike. It's uncanny when to use the terminology like minds. We really fit the like mind situation.
Yeah,
Like
we do.
minds, similar situations, writing memoirs, unbelievable stories that we've prevailed.
Hmm.
We don't look like the situations that
Thank
we've
God
gotten
for
through.
that.
Hallelujah.
Amen for that.
We're too cute for that. Too cute
Mm,
for drama. However,
all
it
day.
taught us so much.
It did. It did.
We had to become who we never thought we would.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing because of the philanthropy that we do now within
Hmm.
community. Um, our hearts are exposed. We want to do things that most people bow out of, they don't want to do. We do it with joy. So
Right.
it's a gift, actually.
I think so.
Yeah. trauma to
Yeah.
triumph.
Yes. Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I can't see the people that's on, but I appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Swipe left on your screen.
I'm scared too.
Just
I'm gonna just sit right
you're
here
gonna
and
ride it out. It's me and
I'm gonna
you.
ride it out.
Well, I
Yes.
will tell you
Yes.
what I see. We will have time, provided the juice isn't pouring over the glass. I'm just saying, because I
Okay.
can imagine it's going to be, right?
Right.
And yeah. Before we go any further, I just gave a quick overview of you because I prefer you give the skinny all of the juice of Felicity. Now, I have really shared a lot on the timeline about you
Okay.
today,
Okay.
from the video to the photos, just snippets of who you are. It's not possible to put it all in print, not like that. So, why don't you just give an overview of yourself in your words, this very moment,
Okay.
of who you are?
Okay. Um, I am Felicity Love, and I am a survivor of child abuse, child rape, and I went through 15 and a half years of domestic violence, which started my junior year in high school. Fast forward, I am founder, I'm a writer, a playwright. I did a play, Mirrors, True Reflections, based on my life story. And I'm going to be doing that again real soon, taking it on the road.
Bring it to
Um,
Charlotte this time.
yes, I will. And I am a new author. I have a new book out, which is called Words to Life,
Yes.
which is a coffee table book, I call it. It's inspirational. It'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry, it'll make you think.
Right,
But most of all, it'll stir something in you, for change, for better,
right, right.
in your life. And then I'm also founder of the Love Movement, which is an organization that I wanted to start something and do something, put something in a world that I didn't have for myself, nor in my life for a very long time, which
Right.
was love. It took
Hmm.
me 30 something years to love myself. So
Yes.
I started the Love Movement, and pretty much what it is, we do like feedings in the community, we do clothing drives, we do haircuts, we do hairstyles, we do back to school drives. It's pretty much just a pay it forward system. Just love on people and let people know that they are not alone, that,
Right.
somebody loves them, somebody cares about them, and somebody understands, and to let them know that your current situation is not your final destination.
Say that again.
Your current situation is not your final destination unless you choose for it to be. But it
Exactly.
doesn't have to be at all.
Right.
And I'm living proof of that. So I think that sums it up.
It
Unless you
really
have some other
doesn't. You
questions.
just you just put the line in the sand. That will never sum it up. It will not sum it up. It's so much. Sparrows is so much to Felicity. And I just applaud you on so many levels because of you didn't let it stop you. Even though you said it
No.
was 30 something years before you decided to love yourself. And you're rocking the name Love. Your name is
Yes.
Love. Love was loveless. You felt that you were loveless, but you really had a lot of love. But when things happen in relationships that paint that picture, because at one point in time you're that strong, confident, independent. Then that fall in love situation. Then they start chiseling a little bit at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day you wake up and you realize you've become this where you used to be that,
That. Exactly.
you know? And then you
Yes.
say, oh my gosh, when did this happen?
Mm-hmm.
Over time.
Right.
over time, letting things slide rather than checking them on the spot when something was said or some suggestion was made, and those but you let it go. And every time you
Mm-hmm.
because I wrote about that in my book. Every time I was saying I did it to myself when I could
Right.
have made the difference by saying, hold on, wait a minute, because I was her. Who are you talking to? But then
Right.
that day came where he's like, and you would do this and walk off. But you're now building this thing where now the more you accept that, you feel like the love is going over here, you know? And then
Right.
from your story, though, I mean, that's just one part that I can relate with, in the relationship piece. But when you say child rape
Mm-hmm.
and abuse and all of these things, so we're talking by way of Chicago, right? When
Yeah.
you're in
Mm-hmm.
Chicago.
Yes.
When did that start? Because I know you started your poetry at age 9.
Yeah. I started writing at age 9. It was like my outlet. You know, as a child, when you're going through things, you're kind of afraid to tell other adults because you think they may say something and then it might get back to your abuser.
Right.
So you just don't. And so you show up to school and different things like that with marks, and people thinking you clumsy because you falling, or that's what you're telling them,
Right.
because you're afraid, and I can't even put into words what that was like. You know what I mean? It was like, because the person that was supposed to set my foundation for me did not. And
Hmm.
so, that's crazy, because that's the person that's supposed to nurture you and show you what love is, and then
Right.
my father, he didn't come into my life until like later, but no fault of his own.
Hmm.
We bonded like later in life or what have you, but yeah, that was hell for a kid.
Yeah.
It was hell for a kid. And
Right.
but then sometimes you go back, and then hindsight or fast forward, you learn that people can only give you what they were given, or
That's the mic drop.
you don't know
Yeah.
what people have gone through themselves. And I'm not excusing that
Right.
behavior by far,
Right.
because it's wrong. But by the same token, it's like if nobody ever breaks the cycle, it continues.
Right.
So it stopped with me, because I knew, when I had my children, their story was going to be written totally different. Their story was going to have a beautiful ending. And I was going to give my life to ensure that was their outcome. And I didn't want my kids to have a childhood, or whatever, that they had to recover from. My
Hmm.
grandchildren, I didn't want them. So I broke the cycle, and I'm proud of myself. And it
You
was
should
work,
be.
and it was not easy, and it was hard, but you gotta want it. You gotta want it like the air that you breathe. Like, it is necessary. It's no way around it, and it's not
Mm-mm.
easy, but in the end, nothing worth having comes easy. And
Oh
so
gosh,
for
no.
yeah, so for years, I took like about 7 or 8 years off, just to work on me. Like, I wasn't in relationships or anything, because I knew I had issues, and I
Right.
didn't want to, hurt people,
Right.
and I didn't want to do that, so I took time off to learn who I was, learn, what I liked, to get my voice, because I didn't have one. I mean, I even think about like high school, like even now, I don't really wear a lot of makeup to this day,
Right.
because back in the day, I had to wear it so much. And like I said, can you imagine being a junior in high school and you're getting beaten by,
That's
I was getting beaten by my children's father, and I had to wear makeup to cover this up, cover this
right.
bruise. I lost so many jobs. Oh my God, countless jobs because he would
You
always go
couldn't
for
go.
my face. He would always go for my face. And so, I would lose jobs. And thank God, once I got better, I could, find another job. But, that
Right.
was hard, and when you don't know any better and when you come from a place where you think that love is pain, it's like
You
you're
accept it.
attracting those type people
Mm-hmm.
and you think it's normal,
Right.
you think that's love, but it's not.
Complete
It's not.
opposite.
Yeah. So, and then for my children, especially my daughter, she's the oldest, she saw a lot of the abuse. She witnessed a lot of the abuse. And I just thank God that it didn't affect her. And for the longest time, I had this guilt, because I felt like I failed my daughter. I felt like one day, for instance,
Naturally.
right, she and I were having a conversation, and she, I guess it was like so much. You don't even think about all the things that you go through. So many things you forget. And
Right.
so I remember one day, she and I was having a conversation, and she told me about a morning when they were getting up, getting ready for school, her and her brother. And she said that she heard their dad beating me up, and we was behind closed doors, and he was like throwing me against the wall and all kind of stuff.
Right.
And so I came out the room, I tried to wipe my face. My nose was bloody, my eyes swelling, and she said, I begged you to let me stay home that day. And she said, you made me go to school. And she said, can you imagine what my day was like?
Horrible. She was worried about you all day long.
And she was like, it was so many days like that. And she said, and I just knew one day we were going to get off that bus and they were going to tell us, your mom is dead, because he would beat me to that degree. And, I had two miscarriages. It's crazy.
Honey,
And the crazy part about it, I didn't even remember that. I
you blocked
vaguely
it?
remember. I guess it was so much. You know how you can go through so much because I was being beaten on a regular.
Right.
So it's like you go through so much, and it's like I vaguely remember, but other scenarios, she would play. And so for a long time, my daughter was just, she wasn't a people person. She just dealt with me and her brother. She didn't care
Mm-hmm.
about other people. But through my movement, and through my evolution, as I call it,
Yeah. Yeah.
my daughter has opened up. She's, hanging with people and doing all these things. And,
That is
you
awesome.
know, yes. And so I cried tears of joy. Like, I was so happy about that, and she's just the opposite of who I was, back in the day,
Right.
but she's married, with kids and everything, in a good relationship, a healthy relationship,
Thank
and I'm
goodness.
so happy
Thank
about that.
goodness.
So, she's growing as well through this journey, and it is an amazing feeling.
Well, you're a great example to set because you have gotten through that, you overcame it, and being a survivor, I can imagine there is a lot, like you said, that you suppressed, that you just buried because if it was happening that often, and then with you saying that he would beat you in high school. So what was that? Were you married in high school? Were you just dating
No,
in high
we were
school?
just, nope,
Just
we, we were just dating. Yeah, we were just dating, and yeah, and he would beat the dog crap out of me. And it went on for 15 and a half years. And I don't know,
time
it was like,
flies.
Yes, yes. And it's so, and that's why I'm so adamant about what I do
Mm-hmm.
and, my love for people, because so many people tell me, with everything you've gone through, I don't even see how, you even like people, because I would hate people. But I'm just the opposite. Like I
Opposite.
have
Yeah.
so much
Yeah.
compassion for
Yeah.
people, and especially women. I
Mm-hmm.
have compassion for everybody, but women
Right.
first, because everything starts with us. Life starts with us. So it's like, if I can just get somebody to get that light to come on as ASAP, the
Right.
better off their life will be for
Right.
it.
Right. Because I know with me in marriage, it was so much you don't say. You don't say anything. You're quiet about it. Like you said, you were wearing the makeup. I never was hit. He never put his hands on me or anything like that. But it was more emotional. I start feeling the emotional, which is
Hmm.
as bad, if not worse, as a actual punch. So when you're dealing
Right.
with that, now you're dealing with, thoughts and things like that. But
Hmm.
Kylie, when it happened, I struck back like, no, you're not going to do that. But when having conversations, it's almost like now you can see it, even though the woman may not say a word. Because you can pick up on her behaviors,
Oh,
how she carry
yes.
and conduct herself,
Hmm.
the way she dressed,
Yes.
like you say,
Yes.
the things that hairstyles to cover,
Oh,
all
yeah.
those types of
Oh,
things.
yeah, I did a lot of those, the swoops to the
Yeah,
side to cover, black
yeah,
eyes or bruises or marks on the side of my
all of
face.
that.
But I tell people all the time, makeup is not always makeup, because to
Yeah.
me, makeup was fake smiles,
Mm-hmm.
laughter,
Mm-hmm.
pretending that I was happy. And the
Yeah.
crazy part about it, when I did my one woman show,
Right.
Mirrors to Reflections, which
Yes.
like I said, I'm bring it back out. There were people who I knew, from back in the day when all of that was going on. And they told me they wanted my life. They
They don't
told
know.
me, because I was
Mm.
the I could have won what is it, an award for being an actress, because they wanted my life. But I wanted to die every day. Like every day I contemplated killing myself. And the only reason why I didn't do it, or I couldn't go through with it, was because of my children. But
Right.
I promise you, every single day I contemplated suicide. I was dying and nobody knew it. I was dying and nobody knew it. And people wanted my life because I pretended that I was happy. I put on
It
this
looks
show for
good.
people, like that everything was
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
and you wearing nice clothes, and
Yeah.
you driving nice cars and all
Mm-hmm.
that, and you're
Mm-hmm.
miserable and you're dying. And all
Yeah.
of that is makeup. It's
Yeah.
makeup, and I tell
Yeah.
people, put away the makeup,
Yes.
and
Be honest.
be honest
Share
with
your
yourself.
story. Get it out.
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
know with me when I was dying, I was hemorrhaging to death. And that was with the miscarriage of my third child. And so with that, I felt myself. I knew I was dying. Asked for my mom and dad. I said, "Listen, call mom and dad." It's 4:30 in the morning. I said, "Call mom and dad so I can thank them for my life." Because I knew, and I was like, "God, I can't die today. I can't die today because my family don't know about him." That was my thought. I'm hemorrhaging, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, they don't know about him." But also knowing my family, they would console him over the top. They were going to take care of him, all this stuff. Insurance policy was doubled like before. So it wasn't that. So I'm like, now he's going to get all this money and you did me wrong. Or you were this person. So I couldn't die today. And just praying about it, and then thinking about all the things I didn't say, the unmentionables. So
Right.
that's what I talk to women about, the unmentionables. Don't keep that stuff secret because if something happens to you, your story is gone unsaid.
Right. Right. And that's the thing. And then, like, after I got out of that relationship,
Mm-hmm.
I took time off for myself. But it's a process, it's a never end, even to this day.
Today, it's still
It
going
is a
on.
never ending
Yes.
process. And
Yeah.
then I ended up getting married to this guy, and he was like Mr. Knight in Shining Armor. He was so sweet to me. I put my guard down. He made me feel safe. He was a narcissist,
Mm.
and he had a lot of issues, and he was a sex addict.
Ooh.
This man
Uh-huh.
was, I'm telling you, like,
I
oh my
know.
God, I talk about all of this in my one woman show. I mean, I didn't know at the time when I met him, he made really good money or whatever, but he just made me feel safe. I didn't have to worry about anything. And then once he had reeled me in,
Got you.
it was on from there.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're living in this big house. I'm driving these nice cars. We got motorcycles. We travel in the world. Anything I wanted. I didn't have to pay no bills. But boy, it was a price to pay.
Too
And
expensive.
I found out I was sleeping with a complete stranger. I mean, I didn't even know anything about, I don't have any problem telling people my story.
Right.
I'm very transparent,
Mm-hmm.
because I know I didn't go through all of that for me. It was for other people.
Everybody else.
So there is no shame in my game. And I found out, he was sleeping with, I found out about Backpage. He was sleeping with prostitutes. He drove trucks. I'm not gonna say his name,
Please don't.
but
Okay.
he drove trucks or whatever. So he was, on the road or whatever. I mean, this man was doing God knows what. And I just thank God that I don't have some kind of disease or whatever, thank God, but he was a monster.
Wow.
He was a horrible person. And it's so funny how, you can be sleeping next to somebody and you don't know a dang on thing about them. You think you do. And
Mm-hmm.
monsters are not always in your dreams.
No.
Sometimes they're sleeping right next to you.
Talking
And
to
I
him
know
every day.
firsthand, and he belittled me, anytime I would talk about all the things that I'm doing now, like
Mm-hmm.
writing my book and pursuing my artistry and stuff,
Right.
he would tell me I was, oh, I ain't gonna use the language, but he would tell me, I was too old, didn't nobody want to hear nothing I had to say, I was negative, just a dream killer. Because he
Yes.
didn't want me, he didn't want me out there, doing those things. But man, I'm telling you, when I found out what I found out about this man that I was married to, and he had these prostitutes in our home.
Get out of here.
Like I would be at work. Yes, I would be at work. Now, what if I had a came home sick or anything could have happened? And yes. I mean, it's crazy. It's something like to really get the story. I don't want to go too. I'm gonna tell you enough, but y'all have to come see Mirrors, and I'm telling you,
Yes,
you got to be ready
I
because it's
missed it.
heavy.
I hate
No,
I
you
missed it.
you'll
And,
get to see it.
I will because you have to bring it to Charlotte.
Yes,
It's a
yes,
must that you do that, that you brought your story to life and just listening to you, even that last one in my book, Mr. Right Now. I mean, sex addict. I mean, it's I talk about the acrobats and the things that are unbelievable. Like, who's going to do that? Like, are you crazy? Are you gay? I would ask questions like that. Are you gay? Um, well, no, Valerie, I'm not gay. I can't tell. Those types of things. Mm-mm.
yeah. And
Okay.
that's
Mm.
why it's so important to set. We have to set boundaries. It's so important, and I tell people all the time that you have to surround yourself with the type of friends who feed you, who pour
Yes.
into you,
Yes.
who remind you, and who love you immensely. Because
Yes.
when you feed your spirit,
It
it will
soars.
not eat lies. No,
Yes.
I
It
say when you
soars.
keep your spirit and all that nourished,
Hmm.
you will not eat lies, and you will not accept anything less than what you're getting in your friendships, in your relationships,
That's every
in your friendships
relationship.
from anybody else.
Yes.
When you have a village, or as I say, my tribe,
Right.
it's like every time I've gone through something, in my life, I have people that love on me like no other. And it just make me check myself like, wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? If I'm getting this from my friends, why would
Why
I
am I
accept
not?
anything less in a
Exactly.
relationship? I'm not going to
Exactly.
do that. And when you have boundaries, set boundaries. If there
Mm-hmm.
are things that that you are not going to tolerate or whatever, don't lower them. Standards aren't meant to be lowered. That's why they're
No.
called standards.
Standards.
And you have to set boundaries, with
Yes.
people, because otherwise, people will, they will run all
Take
over you.
advantage of you, use you for their gain.
Yeah.
And the more you allow that, the more intense it's going to
Yeah. It's
become.
going to get worse and worse and
Right.
worse.
Because
And
the
I,
friends, the village outside of that see what you cannot see. And then they're
mhm.
coming and like, why? Why are you with this person? Or what is going on with this?
Yeah,
They've gotten into your head. And it's to the
mhm.
point of where you have to realize and say, you know what, I draw that fine line in the sand. And you're talking about you writing your books and working on your one woman show, all of that. The whole time, this person was like, you need to spend time with me. You need to do that at another time.
Yeah,
My
trying to
time is
isolate
valuable.
me. Trying to isolate
Yeah.
me from people, even my kids.
Yes.
Yeah, he was just trying to isolate me from everybody and everything, and it just didn't
Crazy.
work. And I think a lot of times we have to truly understand that rejection is
It
protection.
sure is.
Because
Say
when
that
things
again
are
at least twice.
rejection is protection.
Go ahead.
Rejection is protection.
Okay.
When things don't work out, they're not supposed to work out. You know what I mean? So it's like I was telling people yesterday, we got to learn how to flow. We got to
Yes.
flow, not force, flow.
Yes. Yes.
Because when things are meant for you, they're just going to flow. It's just going to be organic.
It happens.
It's going to happen. But when you got to force something, it's not
It's
for
not
you.
right. It's not
It's
right.
not for you. And just like I tell people all the time, just like food, people have expiration dates too.
Honey.
They do. And you got to know when people's time is up. You got to know when people's time is up, and you got to start recognizing those red flags, when you get them, because Jesus, they are there.
They're
It's like
there.
we'll be like, oh, well, maybe no, when it's, when it, no,
And I
we
mean
know.
every day
Hmm.
assessments. I constantly talk
Yeah.
about assessments, and I don't
Yeah.
care who it is. If you get that feeling inside when somebody just push that button with you, why are you letting it slide? You have to voice, speak up. I don't care if it's your guy friend, if it's a girlfriend, it's one and the same. I've gotten to the point to where I just clearly fade to black. I don't care. I used to wait once a year. Like, you know what? I'm going to assess all these so-called friends. And
No.
realistically, I only have a few real
Yeah.
ones, a few. So the rest of them just stay in that associate category. But I say girly, girlfriend, girly girls. I mean, I say that to everybody. But the ones that are true know who they are. They know who they
Right.
are. And you have to leave those things alone, especially in a relationship that's an intimate one. Why
Hmm.
are you accepting that? I say it all the time.
Yeah.
What is that about? Because of now having such a clear view. I see what you're going through.
Yeah. But
So what's
sometimes,
broken in you?
right. That's what I was about to say. And that's the thing. It's like, because I used to be that woman, and people would probably, be calling me dumb and stupid for staying with somebody. But I tell people, don't call people dumb or
No,
stupid, because
timing.
when you really love yourself, you're not going to accept that type of behavior. So
Exactly.
when people are accepting that type of behavior, it's
Something's
something
wrong.
in them.
There's
It's
something
something that
wrong.
they got to fix within them.
Right.
And I tell people all the time, especially women,
Mm-hmm.
we got to have more patience with each other. Now I understand that there are people that, sometimes you just got to pray for them from afar. I get that. But because prime example, like I've been in places, and you might interact with another sister or whatever, and
Right.
she might just have this bad attitude or whatever, and people will be like, oh, her attitude's so jacked up. But the way my mind works, I'm like, why is she like that?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Under the
You know what I
skin.
mean?
under
Right,
the
because
action.
there's a reason
Right.
why people are the way that they are. And I just think we have to practice more, compassion with each other, especially as,
It's
being women.
vital.
But
It's vital
with
to do
anybody,
that. It's
it
vital.
is, it's really, really, really important. But, you gotta love on yourself, you gotta date yourself. Um,
Uh-huh.
you gotta get to know
If
who
you
you
don't love
are.
yourself like that, how can you possibly expect somebody else to give you what you haven't given yourself? It
Right.
doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense. And I know,
Yeah.
I'm quick to do it. I would go eat by myself. I'll go catch a movie. I just want to be by myself,
Yeah.
just spend some time because we're evolving every day. We change.
Mhm.
And
We
as we
do.
change, I need to understand the changes that are taking place within me.
Right.
So I'm presenting myself accordingly to everybody else. So nothing's misconstrued. This is what is necessary. But then you have so many individuals who say, I can't do that. I wouldn't even know what to do with myself. I said, well,
I
you're
do.
not qualified.
Yeah.
And
And
then would
it's
get offended. Why you say
yeah.
I'm not qualified for what? For dating. If you can't date you, you're
If
not
you can't be
qualified to
by
date anybody
yourself, right,
else.
you got to learn how to. And I'm telling you, I date myself. Girl, I make reservations. I go out to dinner by myself. I dress
Dial up.
up. I go to movies by
Uh-huh.
myself. I go to parks. I have picnics by myself.
Yes.
I love my company. But
Yes.
it took me a long time. That's what I'm telling people. So I tell people all the time, like, I will not apologize for my happiness.
No.
I will not apologize for waking up smiling every
No.
day. Really understanding that when I open my two eyes, that is a gift. I don't care
Every
what
day.
my life looks like, it's a gift. Sometimes it's gonna come wrapped in tore up ugly paper. It ain't gonna have no bows on it.
It's
Sometimes it's
okay.
pretty, but at the end of the day, it's a gift,
It
and
is.
I had to work to get to this space, and it was not easy. So I
Absolutely
will not
not.
apologize for my happiness when I know there were days, from the time I was probably 7 or 8 years old, people were, outside playing with Barbie dolls and doing, whatever. I wanted to kill myself.
Right.
I was suicidal. And I was like that for 30 something years of my life. And so this woman you see today, this was work. And I'm still a work in progress.
Constant. It's
And I and
constant.
and I and I firmly believe in, being nice to people. Like, it takes nothing to be nice. It takes nothing to say a kind word, because you don't know what people
Are
are
going
battling.
through.
And
Right.
you could interact with somebody and say some over the top things, and that person could go home
Push
and
them over.
end their life
Push them
because,
over.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
tell people, if you wake up just in a bad mood like that,
Stay
perhaps
out
you
of the way.
should no, you should just lay down and try to get back up again and try it again, or just
Snooze,
stay at
snooze for
home.
8 minutes or just stay out of the
Yes,
way because
because
you're
the
gonna.
world is crazy out here.
It
It's
is.
enough hate. We need love out here. We need compassion. And
Hugs.
I have that for people. Yes, you could compliment
Yeah.
somebody and make their entire day. You could give
Yes.
somebody a hug and make their entire day. I
Change
mean,
it.
you just don't.
Change
You
it.
never, never know. And so all I know is I wake up every single day, and anybody who knows me knows this about me.
Uh-huh.
And they know I wake up every day to make a difference in
Mm-hmm.
somebody's
Body's
life
life.
on some level, to some capacity,
Doesn't matter what it looks like. It really
No.
doesn't. And it comes
Mm-mm.
from going through so much and coming out on the other side.
Yes.
Coming
And
out on
it's
the other side and the lessons that we learned along the way, the importance of being grateful, the importance
yes.
of waking up in the morning. Like I will lay there and just listen at the birds singing. My alarm are the
Yes.
birds. Nature makes a difference. Just seeing the sunrise, feeling the wind.
I'm
Those
telling
things
you,
are
the smallest
vital when
things.
you have almost lost your life or you were contemplating, or if it was almost taken from you. But God had to, for me, had to put me in that place to realize just 2 days before that happened, I said, God, you know what? You know I'm not happy in this marriage. And here we are, had been trying to conceive. He tricked me in a way. We were not supposed to conceive at that time. Our doctor said clearly, Valerie, if you conceive within the next 30 days, you're putting your life at risk and the child. He was there. Lo and behold, it was almost like his goal to deceive the doctor, because this is what, I'm a man. You don't tell me, if this is what I want. And guess what? Conceived within that time. I didn't know it until, maybe a month or so, 2 months later. Crazy headaches, all of the symptoms. I was like, I know better. Oh, no. And got that diagnosis and was like, he's ear to ear. And I'm like appalled, scared to death, because this is my life. Are you kidding me? How did this happen? What did you do?
Right.
Lies, lies, lies
Oh,
is what he
yeah.
did.
Oh, yeah.
He lied. And this has happened. And then guess what? I really did. I almost hemorrhaged to death. I said, God, I want out. And I said, give me a sign I cannot ignore. Give me a sign that you are okay with me getting out of this. And surely 2 days later, boom, that's what happened. And I
Wow.
was nearly out of here and thought I was, but at the same time, wanted to be excited about the baby, but horrified at the same time. Because he
Oh, yeah.
knew if he planted that seed, I wasn't going anywhere. His fear was that I'd leave. And he almost checked in on that, but here I am today. You
Oh,
still
yeah.
lost me. You still
Oh,
lost me
yeah.
and
Oh,
the
yeah.
child. But
Oh, yeah.
it's not worth it. And to be careful, you can be in marriages and have all of this drama going on. You can just be in a relationship. It could be a boyfriend, girlfriend, because men go through this also.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so
It's a
it's
two-way street.
toxic.
Yes, it's a
Right.
two-way
It's
street. And
hard.
it is. And it's like so many people, they don't want to do the work. And I tell people all the
Have
time,
to.
like, I used to be that person, like, getting beat up. And I remember times when I would have to clean my blood, off the walls, out the carpet. And then, or my mouth is so swollen, I can't even eat. So I'm drinking some soup or something, and my kids are eating, and I'm sitting there at the table like everything is normal. Like, you think back on that stuff, and it is crazy. And it's like, I don't know, it's like I have this gift, because oftentimes when I meet people,
Right.
and I know right away when
You see
something
it.
isn't right.
You see it.
I know when something is going on with
Right.
somebody, and, I'm always talking to people. I'm always mentoring. There's a lot of, women that I mentor. I'm always, just talking to people. And, it's been people that I've met, and I just slid them my card. And I was like, when you're ready, call me.
It's
And
evident.
right, because I see right through it, because I see me. I
Right.
see the old me, like, where I used to be. And, all the
Suppression.
things that, that I accepted, like somebody cheating, and, just the beatings. And then, he would cheat on me and everything. And, I would welcome him home with open arms, because I really thought nobody wanted me. I thought I was ugly. I thought I was unattractive. I thought I didn't even deserve anything good. It just, my life
Mind
was that
games.
heavy
Right.
that I really believed that for years. And then one day it was like, I just woke up and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, it gotta be something better than
Better than
this.
this. Right. Right.
I cannot, and I will not, do this with my children anymore. Have my children, seeing me get beat up and all of that. And I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And I just started the work, and I have not looked back.
No,
And
you
I just
can't.
try to encourage people to let them know, that if I could get through it, you can too.
Just
you don't have to
decide.
be with that person,
They have to
that's
decide it though. I
right,
mean, if they
right.
don't,
And
that's
then
what's heartbreaking.
you gotta have patience though. Like so
Yeah.
many people, just think, like I said again, that people just stupid and she whatever, whatever. No, it's so much deeper than
It's
that
more
because
to it. Where are you
because
going?
something has
Are you
happened.
prepared? Yes.
Right. Or
It
something
takes
has
things.
happened to them to even be in a position to accept, that type of behavior. So,
Right.
now it's like, when I see it, I run, and it's crazy because I noticed that oftentimes when you're a light worker, which I call myself a light
Yeah.
worker or a
Yeah.
healer,
Healer. Yeah.
you attract broken people.
Yeah.
So you have to be
Constant.
really careful about that too, because
Because
you do.
spirits will transfer. You got to be careful of it. Just like
Yeah,
you can see it in them, they see it in you and know it to be true, also. And it's so
yeah.
exhausting. You have to be on all the time. You have to be prepared at all times because otherwise you're going to wear yourself out trying to help, listening, doing, praying
It
for.
got a
Okay, what
balance.
else can I do? You have to balance it, or
Yeah, it
otherwise
has to
you're going to be
balance.
upside down
Yeah, and
doing so much.
I learned that the hard way because I was doing so much out here, and I wound up in the emergency room, and I wasn't even sleeping, and to the point where I had started hallucinating. I didn't even
Girl.
know that. Yeah,
Mm.
like not taking care of myself, but taking care of everybody else, but
Always
not
first.
myself. And
Mm.
so now, I'm just like, it has to balance. Like, it's not that many things in the world um, that will should ever come before you and your sanity. Self care
Nothing.
is everything.
Number one.
And I will say, like, even now, like, one thing I am happy about is the fact that my mother and I mended our relationship.
Thank God.
Um, we mended our relationship, but there was still, I was really excited because I wanted to sit down, and have a conversation with her, not bash her, but just
Right.
have a conversation just to get an
Understanding.
understanding of why a lot of things that transpired.
Right.
However, my mother passed away last year, October 23rd.
Wow.
We mended our relationship maybe a month before she passed away. Yeah, so that was heavy. And then, me and my father, we were like
Two peas in a
twins.
pod.
Oh my
Mm-hmm.
God. Me and my father were like, that was, man, that he is my heart. And, and I
Yeah.
lost my mother October 23rd. My parents weren't together. They both were remarried.
Mm-hmm.
And then little less than 3 months later, January 21st, I lost my dad. And
Yeah.
so,
Oh, girl.
and that was heavy. And so, but I took time off, because
Mm-hmm.
mentally I was gone, and I
Yeah.
knew
My
I
heart
had
broke for
to,
you. I mean,
yeah,
that was a lot to even know that
yeah,
you were going through.
oh yeah. And then I lost my brother that May, right before my mom. And then I had lost a close friend of mine, um, right about a week and a half or so before my mother passed away. And see, some people know about that and some people didn't know about that. So last year was a very heavy, heavy year for me. But um I took the time for me. I took a break. um I healed. I did my meditation, I did my yoga, I worked out, I
Yeah.
sat in silence, I
Mm-hmm.
read, or I just whatever I needed to do for me, I did it.
Right.
Because we get so busy, like, with life, and everybody's like, oh my God, my life is just so busy. But nothing
Change
should
that.
ever take
Change that.
priority
Mm-hmm.
over you.
Right.
So it's like you have to find that balance. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
if it's where you got to get up an extra hour early in the morning or
Right.
whatever to do whatever for you, or you have to find time for you. You know,
If
we
you
have to
don't,
learn
you'll
how to
be
take
shut
care of
down.
ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
grind and do too much. And but usually all of that grinding and saying you're busy, not productive, it's just busy.
Busy. And it's a
It's a
difference.
difference. So when you're
Hmm.
busy like that, my next question to you is, what are you masking? What are you avoiding taking care of? Because that's the real meat of it. What are you hiding?
You know what? And sometimes I don't really even think that people that I don't even, that could be it too. That,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that is a part of it. But I just feel like people have been so conditioned to, especially women, we have been so conditioned to put everybody, to take care of everybody else, make sure everybody else is
Nurture.
good. And but we don't take care of ourselves,
No.
you know,
It's a worthy
and
thing.
we have to change that. We have to
It's
change that.
mindset of
Be,
worthy.
yeah. So, you know, I think when, you know, when we can find that balance, our lives are just so much better for it, you know. Um, because what's the saying? If mom ain't happy, ain't nobody gonna
Nobody
be
happy.
happy. Yeah. Yeah. But I just, you know, I just want people to know that, you know, I don't care how your, you know, how your story starts out. I don't care how ugly it is. I don't care what your situation is right now at this very moment. Whatever it is that you're going through, it is not your final
Sure
destination.
is
It's
not.
not. And your ending can still be beautiful. I don't
Can.
care what you have gone through.
Believe
Because I'm
it.
telling you, I've been through hell and hot water. And is my life perfect? No, it's not. But it's great. And I'm blessed, you know, and
Yes.
I'm happy. And my happiness means everything
It
to
sure
me.
does.
And my peace means
That
everything
much
to me.
more.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
even, and you know, and even when I, you know, when I went through my divorce, everybody was like, "Oh, girl, you know, I would take him to, you know, take him." I didn't want nothing.
Anything.
I was like Tina Turner. I just want my daddy's name back.
That's it. And said
And you
that.
can go on about your business and
Yeah.
everything, and I started from ground zero up.
Yes.
But I will tell you, when I got in my space by myself and I closed that door, that
Hallelujah.
sound, that space was priceless. No
Yes.
amount of money in the world
Could touch that.
could touch that, you
Mm-mm.
know. And I started from ground zero, I'm telling you, and you can do the same thing,
It's
you
worth
know.
it.
Yeah, but
Leave it
you
all behind.
it's
It's all
work.
attachments.
It's
It's
work.
work.
It's work. And you gotta be prepared. Just like you do the overtime on these jobs to make that
Yeah.
extra money, you
Yeah.
need to do overtime on your self-care and your work for you, you know, because you
This
gonna
is
you're
your
gonna benefit
life.
from it. It's
This is
your life.
your life.
Yes, it's your
You could
life, you
die
know.
behind this. Like, is what is
Yes.
it that you're dealing with that's more valuable than your actual life?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. And nobody is worth
Yeah.
that. And the
But
minute
some
you can take that into your heart, you need to understand if you're doing this, even if you're a mother or whatnot, you do all these things for your children, you do all this for your husband, you do all this for whomever is in your life, you know, caretaking. If you don't provide care for yourself, you will be out of here. Who is going to take care of them then?
yes. It's just time to it's just time to sage your life. You know, I sage my space, I do all
Yeah.
that, but sage your life. You know, do
Hmm.
that inventory. You gotta
Yeah.
let people go. You have people you holding on to, and
For what?
they have no place, no business, you know, where you are. I always tell people, like, when I went through that point in my life where I just cleaned out, like, I have nobody to clean out of my life. Like, my life is great. My village, my tribe is amazing. My family. I
Fabulous.
have
Yes.
nobody that I feel
In
like,
the
oh,
way?
they don't, nobody is
Hmm.
in my space that is not
Right.
supposed to be there. And so, um, you know, you got to take that inventory. Like, even people, when you approach certain people, or, you know, you come into the presence of certain people, or you're talking to certain people on the phone, and your energy level just goes down, those spiritual vampires, you got to get rid of them.
Excuse yourself. Yes.
You got to, you got to get
Yeah.
rid of them. And I'm telling you, I don't care if it's family members. Sometimes your family members are the problem. You
Yeah.
can love them from
From a
afar. They
distance.
don't have any business in your space. I mean, your peace, your sanity, your
Protect it.
happiness, you
Protect that.
you got to
All
protect that.
costs.
Yes, at all costs. It's
All
nothing like it,
costs.
and it's so important. And I just want to see people happy. I just want to see people living their best lives, surrounded by the right people. I tell people all the time, that's like, I always say, like, if you have people in your life and you're going through something and you call them and you're depressed or whatever, and then when you get off the phone with them, you still want to kill yourself or you still depressed, you need to get
Smooches.
rid of them people,
That's a smooches.
because
You gotta
those are
go.
not your people. You know what I'm saying? When you
Yeah.
talk to people, they should, when you get off that phone, you should feel like you can fly.
Right.
You should feel like you are invincible. You should get off that phone clapping, go to the mirror and pep talk yourself. I mean, those are the type of women and men that I'm surrounded by.
You have to be.
You
Prayer
know,
warriors.
yes,
Confidence.
you
They
got
keep you
to
lifted.
all the time.
Yeah.
Don't have people that talk about you. Have people that pray for you. Have people
Lift
that
you.
believe in you. Have people. I
Push
have
you.
people that hold me accountable. Like if I
Absolutely.
say I'm gonna do something, or my
Win.
friends tell me they're gonna do something, we hold each other accountable.
Absolutely.
And you have to understand that, even if me or my friend, like I have one of my girlfriends, I always shout her out, Pam. And Pam is one of those people, like she and I had a conversation. We always have heart to hearts, but we had a heart to heart about a situation that I was dealing with like a couple months ago.
Right.
And Pam was like, I love you, Fee, but I got to point this out. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't, I didn't feel attacked or anything, because I know if my friends tell me something, or if I tell my friends something, it's coming from a place
It's love.
of love.
Yeah, it's love.
Period. You know what I'm saying? And, but it's like some people feel like they have to keep people in their lives because they've been friends or whatever for 30
Yeah,
some
for them.
years.
Oh,
That
well.
don't mean nothing. Again,
Yeah.
even just like food, people have their expiration dates
Yes.
too.
And if you're not being nurtured and you're the one that's always giving, pouring into, but they're just receiving, not giving anything back, gotta go.
it just
Gots to go.
it just doesn't balance. And and then I have my way with my words sometimes, but that's me. I'm gonna say
It's okay.
how I want to say it. But no matter what I say, there's always a message in it, you know, and
Yes.
it may make some people uncomfortable, but that's not my problem. That has nothing to do with me.
No, but
I'm just
once you
telling it
say
like it
it,
is, and and if you feel whatever way you feel, then perhaps it's something in you, that you need
it
to
needs to
work
be
on,
dealt with.
because I'm never gonna attack anybody, but I'm gonna tell it like it is.
My thing is with that, and they see it within themselves, but want to complain about it, about somebody else. What I don't like about her is this, 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 this. I say, is that it? And they'll reply and say, yeah, that's about it. I said, for everything you just numbered about what you don't like about this person is everything that's wrong and broken within yourself. You tend to pick what's broken in you point it out in others. It's a mirror reflection.
A lot of people
So when you
deflect.
do that, so when you can check yourself on that, then you don't have anything negative or judgment toward anybody else.
Right.
You
And I
see?
think too, and another thing we have to understand too is that we have to meet people where they are.
Period.
So it's like a lot of times, like I've had friends and, they may have been going through a situation and I tried to talk to them or whatever. But in that moment, they just weren't ready to receive it. They just weren't ready to make that change or do the work or whatever. So sometimes you have to meet people where they are, and sometimes you have to leave them where they are.
Leave them
And you
there.
can love them from afar, and hopefully, what I'm saying, that they'll catch up. But everybody, we all have a choice. It's like
Exactly.
you can tell people whatever, and I have people that, whatever the situation may be, like, I had to go on still with my journey, but I'm always praying for them. And then some of my friends have
Constant.
come around, and they got it, and I hold the space for them when they do.
Right.
But all of us are dealing with something, all of us are
Nobody is
dealing,
exempt.
right.
Nobody.
All of us are dealing with something, but like I said, I can't emphasize it enough. It's so imperative to me that people just live their happy, find their happy,
Find it,
and
discover it.
bathe in it, dance in the rain with it, just whatever, because life is, it can be good, but
Yeah.
we all fall into those valleys. But one thing I've learned over the years is that valleys are necessary,
Hmm.
because life is not always going to be good like that. It's just not.
Who
And that's
wants it to
another thing,
be?
when I'm going through, I share that. When I'm up and upbeat and everything's good, I
Right.
share that. I just keep
Right.
it real, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't know any other way to be. I'm not going to
Hmm.
pretend or
Sugarcoat
whatever.
that. Mm-mm.
Yeah, like, I had a few people say, Felicity is who she posts to be. um and that made me happy, because, yeah, like, what you see is
The
what you
real
get,
deal.
it
Yes.
is what it is. But I feel like valleys are necessary, because every time we fall into those valleys, it's something we're supposed to learn.
Learn about
and
yourself.
and growth, when you're it's gonna make you uncomfortable sometimes. Sometimes you're not
It's
gonna like it.
okay. It's
Sometimes
okay.
you gonna feel like your world is falling apart, but really
Hmm.
it's being rebuilt. You just
Yes.
can't
It's
see
so
it.
gorgeous.
But for
It's gorgeous.
every valley we fall into, there is always a lesson to take away from it. And until you get that lesson, you're gonna stay in that valley.
You stay in the valley and then you're going to keep repeating it over and over and over
Yeah, so
with
get the
different
lesson.
individuals, because once you get the lesson, your life change, your
Yes.
disposition of who you are changes. Everybody sees it. They're like, what's going
Mm-hmm.
on? So the changes are reflected in your everyday. You don't have to
Yep.
say a word. It's
Yep.
displayed.
Indeed. And I always say, like, taking, like, when you get rid of those people who don't belong,
Right.
honey, it is like taking a laxative,
Yeah.
because you getting rid of all that stuff that don't belong, and you just feel
You feel
10
light.
pounds
You feel
lighter, and
light.
you're
Yeah.
floating on a cloud, because you don't have all that weight holding you down.
Getting your dance on, you feel
Yes.
great, you're whistling, you're
Yes.
skipping,
But
all of
you
that.
you you are your greatest project.
Yes.
You are your greatest project. You
Oh my
got to do the
gosh.
work for you.
It's necessary to do that. It's mandatory
It
that you do
is.
that. If
It
you're ever
is.
going to escape into the person you were actually born to be,
Your greatest self.
your greatest self, your highest
It's work.
reflection of self, it
It's
takes
work.
work and it's hard work, but it's beautiful work, because once you get
Yes.
there, it's such gratitude.
Yes.
It is
I'm telling you.
gratitude that's unexplainable. You can't.
It's almost like I felt like I was drowning. And you know how somebody is drowning, but in that very last moment, somebody saves them and they come up and they catch that breath.
Yeah,
That's what it's like.
it's like,
But it is necessary.
because you don't
And
live until.
because you feel like relationships
Hmm.
are failing,
Right.
friendships are failing, everything is going left. But man, you are elevating. And
Honey,
as you elevate, you gotta have those labor pains.
exactly.
To birth something, you gotta
You got to
have
go
those
through it.
labor pains. I'm telling
Contractions
you.
would jack you up, but
Yes,
every few minutes you
yes,
take a breath. I just wrote a gratitude time around that. Like, okay, you have contractions and they're hard, they're unbearable. You can't even believe it. And then they subside. And then they come
yes,
again. Then they subside. You take another breath. The next thing you know, you have to push it. When you push it and then you've birthed it, then you forget about the pain, forget about the contractions, you
because
forget
you
about
looking
all of
at
it.
that beautiful
That
baby.
beautiful baby, that
Yes.
beautiful birth. It was worth it.
And
So
unfortunately, in this type of birth, there are no epidurals.
no,
You're gonna
there.
endure all that pain, but it's so worth it and it's so
Yeah,
necessary, and you are worth it. Like I tell people, you are your
yeah,
greatest project. Invest in
yeah.
yourself, believe
Invest.
in yourself, put time in yourself, do everything you need to do
Right,
for self.
right.
And even if other people don't understand it, so
That's
what?
okay too.
That's on them. That has nothing to do with you.
And don't
You
feel like
do
you have
what's
to
best for you.
explain what you're doing.
Always.
You owe
Yes.
no explanations
No.
for your life.
Freedom is
Yeah,
something, isn't it? Freedom is
yes.
something,
And that's what life
freedom
is to me. I say it
is
with clients all
freedom.
the time. I said, life is living in freedom every day. If you look at
Yes.
those words, those letters in that word, it tells you what life is. That's what freedom
Yes.
looks like. And
It
whatever you
does.
have to do to cross that finish line to freedom, that's what's necessary for you to do. Make sure that's your heart's yearning. You set those goals and you reach them.
Yes. Speaking of births,
There she is.
this is my book, Words to Life.
Yeah,
Orange is my favorite color, by the way.
love it.
This is volume one. I'm actually gonna come out with, and this is the back of the book.
Okay.
And Tyrone Allen helped me birth this baby. He's an artist. Um, he does websites. This man does everything, everything. And
It's a gorgeous cover. I love it.
thank you. And Words to Life is, like I said, we call it a coffee table book. I am writing the novel Mirrors, True
Mm-hmm.
Reflections, based on
Mm-hmm.
my life story. I am in the
Okay.
process of writing that now, and hope
Okay.
I'll be birthing that baby soon. But
Yes.
this book right here is just inspirational things within these pages. Anybody who knows me know is raw and real. I'm just gonna
Yes.
give it to you how I
Yes.
get it. But I'm really, really proud of my book. It has quotes. It's quotes, thoughts.
Love
Um,
it.
it's quotes, thoughts, poetry, hashtags. Some things in here will make you laugh. Some things in here will make you cry. Some things in here will make you think. I had
Mm-hmm.
some people tell me they keep this in their purse
Great.
because they say when they catch themselves slipping, they pick
You
this
pull it
book
out.
up as a reminder. You can get it on
Mm-hmm.
Amazon.com
Okay.
under Felicity Love, and yeah, support. It's food for your soul. It's food for your soul. You want to eat
Necessary food.
just like healthy food.
Right.
The books you read, the television shows you watch. It needs
Your
to be healthy,
associations.
good stuff.
Right.
So this
Right.
is food for your soul, and I'm really proud of this. Proud of my
Yes.
baby, and it's doing well. It's doing well,
Good.
and I'm
Because you
proud.
just released. How long ago has it been? It hasn't been that long.
About 2 months, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been about
Yes.
2 months. Yeah.
It was
So
perfectly
yeah,
timed to
it
have you come
was.
on to talk about that. And then, your one woman show, Mirror Reflections, all
Yeah.
of those things, because they are all layered in, and timing couldn't be more perfect.
Yes.
And we just thought
But
it was the
but
strangest thing, though, how crazy it's been for us not to have connected before now. But timing is
we got to tell them
everything.
how we met. We we actually met on
It
Offer
was
Up.
Offer Up. She had drapery, and I wanted them.
Yes.
I ended up not getting them because the length was too short.
Yep.
I wanted them for my balcony. I was working on the balcony and I needed drapery. and very meticulous, being an interior designer. So it's got to be the right length and the width.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like, oh my gosh, those are gorgeous. And then instead of just sending her, you know, something there, by this time, had we exchanged? I don't know if we had exchanged. No, because it was a part two of introduction.
Mm-hmm.
Because we decided, you know, you say, okay, well, if you decide you want them, just let me know. I'm like, okay, cool, fine. And then I'm on LinkedIn one day. And I don't know, I guess it's algorithms or whatnot. It was like she was a suggestion to be friend. I said, is that the Felicity Love? I said, it's not many Felicity
Right,
Loves.
right.
I knew one other Love. And I said, with a name like that, I'm going to just send the link. I sent the link. At that time, I did have your number. We talked. I text you or something. I said,
Yeah.
are you on um, LinkedIn under XYZ? And I just sent you a request or something like that. And you was like, yeah. And then basically, that was it. We talked on the phone for a very
We
long
long
time.
time. We did. We did. It was like I knew, the universe works in amazing ways,
Yeah.
and I don't believe in coincidences.
Mm-mm.
So it was,
Mm-mm.
it was meant for us to meet. And after we got off the phone, I was just like, wow. I'm like, I am blessed to know her.
And the feelings mutual. And
Yeah.
every time she had an event, because you lived in the city or right on the other
Mhm.
side of Atlanta, I was out Alpharetta, which is a hike and a journey. So that's a planned trip whenever you go into the city like that. So we never did. Every time she had something, I was out of town or something was up to where I could not attend. And I said, what is this about? We have so much in common. What is this?
Mhm. Mhm.
Until today. And
Yeah.
now we're side by side, but we will meet
Oh
face to
yeah.
face
Right.
because it's
Right.
no way we have such similarities not to combine the forces
Cause we
and do
bonded.
something that,
Yeah, we have
yeah,
bonded. Like I feel like I've known you which we
ever.
have known each other for a couple of years
Couple of
now,
years.
but I feel like I've known you like years and years and
Right,
years, like somebody you
right,
grew up with,
right.
And so very good energy, beautiful spirit. And I'm glad our
You
paths
too.
I'm really glad that our paths crossed. I really
Much
am.
gratitude. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm grateful for it and just excited because of similar situations, writing the books, having such love and care for people, so compassionate about
Yeah.
it. And because of our testimonies, we've become who we are.
Right.
That's the greatest thing in
And we're
it.
still evolving
Yeah.
and growing and
Yes.
learning, and the journey is beautiful. The
It
journey is
is.
beautiful, and I welcome all of it.
Hmm. You can't change one piece. You can't
Comfortable
change it.
times,
Right.
and because even now it's like, my father, I was really upset, but me and my mother, we didn't have that relationship like that.
Right.
Not for lack of me not trying, just circumstances, and God rest my mother's soul. I'm a lot like my mom. I get all of her good ways.
Yeah.
I'm a go getter. I'm a hustler. I'm gonna make things happen.
Uh-huh.
I got the gift of gab, and she just and I can cook like my mom.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was an maid. Everybody at her funeral talked about my mother's food, and yeah, and
Oh.
I definitely got that gift of cooking from her. Just all of her good ways, and but like, with my dad, it's still been a process because,
Mm-hmm.
I tell people, like I said, it is what it is. And
Right.
I tell people all the time, you can be positive and all that and upbeat, but life still happens to me too, just like
Right.
anybody else. And
Right.
grief is real,
Mm. In your face.
and it's heavy. And and I have days where I have to fight with everything in me to get out of the bed just to show up.
Yeah.
Like I can't even put into words how much I miss my father. And
Wow.
but he's with me, and I know he is just, and I
Mm-hmm.
know he's been working things out from the other side, because it's so many blessings, things I can't even talk about right now, but I'm so
Right.
excited. And it's nobody but my dad, and my
Yeah.
mom, I know.
Uh-huh.
So, but it's heavy, and I share that with people too. When
Right.
I have those days, I'll come on, and I'll post about it, and I'm just like, if you fought like hell to show up today in the world, I'm proud of you, because
Yes.
I get
That's
it,
a standing
and
ovation. Yeah.
yeah, because it's rough, it's rough, because I find myself, my dad was pretty much a part of my everyday life. Like, we talked
Mm-hmm.
every day. So even now, sometimes when I get good news about something, or something happened, I'll
Mm.
pick up my phone and dial my dad's number, and then it dawned on me, like, he's
Man.
not here. But my
Yeah.
father was so proud of me, and my mother was very proud of me too.
Yeah.
And that is the greatest feeling. And even and the one thing that I take pride in is that I have no regrets. I sleep well,
Great.
because everything happened the way that it was supposed to with my mom. Everything happened with my dad. Sometimes when people pass away, we regret certain things we didn't do, or certain things. I have
Right.
none of that. And I know
You had
anybody
that
out here,
opportunity.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
anybody out here that knows me knows that I'm going to tell you, if we talk 8 times a day, I'm going to tell you I love you 8 times a day.
Exactly.
You're going to know how I feel about you, so
Yeah.
anybody, no, I would never have no, if I clocked out of here today, I know everybody in my life, to whatever capacity you're in my life,
You
how
felt
I
that
felt
love.
about you. Yes.
They feel it.
And it's no shame in my
Yeah.
game. And people probably get sick of me, but I'd be like, oh, I love you. Or I love you more. You know what I'm
But you know
saying?
what?
But
They don't get sick of it, because the minute if you didn't say it, they're gonna call you on it, because they
yeah.
love to hear it. It's just something that comes to be a second nature. Because I'll
Yeah.
say it in a minute, like, love you, mean it. Love you, mean it,
Yeah.
smooches. Have a fabulous day. Make it memorable. All of
Yeah.
those things. Like, leave your
Yeah.
mark on the world, and that is a part of your dash. And when you can be
I'm
that
telling
person,
you.
is that dash is everything.
That's what I'm working on. That's what we all should be working on. Because,
Yes.
your
How
date
you're
of birth
remembered.
and your date of death, that's
Right.
not what matters. It's that
No.
dash.
How
And
you're
I'm telling
remembered.
you,
That's how you live
I'm
forever.
leaving. I'm leaving something. I'm leaving something.
Yeah.
And I feel good about that,
Yeah.
making a difference, in the world, and, seeing somebody smile, or,
Yeah. That's the joy.
knowing that somebody, like, I had one lady, I get messages all the time. And, a lot of times I'm such a crybaby because I'm so passionate about people. And,
Water
people,
bucket.
will message me, and they'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, one lady messaged me one time, and she told me that she was somewhere, and she wanted to talk to these people about a class that she wanted to teach, but she was scared. So she said she went back to her car, and she said, and I had a WWFD moment. And she said, what would Felicity do? And she
Yes.
said she got back out that car, went in there and talked to them. And of course, she got her class that she wanted to
Awesome.
do, and some. And I've had people tell me, even men and women, after they came to see my one woman show,
Mm-hmm.
they left abusive relationships, men and women. And that's all I want to do. If I just help one
Blessings.
person,
It's
my
worth
job is
it.
done.
It's worth it.
You
It's worth
know.
it. So it's
So
okay to share your vulnerabilities. It's okay to be
it is.
transparent. It's okay to
Yes.
speak your truth the way you feel
Yes.
it, seen it, represent it. Don't hide
Yes.
it, because I'll say to you in a minute, my armor is bruised. It is so battered, shanked, shot up, cut. You can't tell by looking, but it's
Yeah.
there, and I
They're there.
wear it with honor, because
I
if
say
I
I
hadn't had any of those experiences, there's no way I could possibly be the
who
person
you
you see
are.
transforming before your eyes every single
Yeah.
day.
I
It's
always
not
say that.
possible.
I always say I wear my scars like Sunday's
Yeah,
best,
yeah. Love
because
them.
they
Oh,
they
this
make
one was
us who we
for.
are.
Oh, that
Yeah.
one was for.
Yeah,
Tell your
they make us who we
stories.
are. Don't be
Yeah.
ashamed of your story. And I know in me sharing my story, I healed
Yes.
myself.
Thank you.
It was healing for other people, but it was
Mm-hmm.
healing for me. And forgive,
Yeah.
because forgiveness isn't for,
Immediately.
it's not for the other person, it's for
No.
you. Uh,
Absolutely.
and I always forgive. I always forgive people. I don't care
Yeah.
what you do to me. I'm always going to forgive.
It's
Period.
you have to, because once you do that, and I've had so many people say to me, "Why are you always smiling? Why are you just forgiving like that? I mean, they literally did this, this, and this to you. How can you be so forgiving?" I said,
Hmm.
"Because I'm not shortening my days because of something somebody did to me. What God is judging me on is how I receive that, how I forgive quickly, and move on with my life, because it's
Right.
important about how I deal with the situation, not what they've done to me. It's
Right.
how I receive that or not. So I don't see where it's necessary for me to be mad, holding a grudge with somebody, and I'm the only one suffering from it because they've turned the page and moved on. So who is really getting the short end of the deal here?
Exactly. Because you losing sleep at night and they sleeping like a baby.
Newborn.
And at the end of the day, I mean, we all got something.
Yeah.
We all fall
Yeah.
short
Yeah.
somewhere, and
Yeah.
so, that's what I have to tell myself.
Yeah.
And, you know, just because we all sin differently, we still sin. Still,
Hmm.
I don't think it's on a
No
point
one is
system.
greater.
I
No
don't
one's
think
greater
it's
or
gonna say,
less.
well, I did this, so I'm only gonna get 5 points, but you did that and you're gonna get a
Less.
hundred. No, a sin is a sin is
Mm-mm.
a sin. So,
Period. Point blank.
I'm always gonna forgive. That's who I am, and
Yeah.
I don't know any other way to be. Now, a lot of times I've had people that I have forgiven, but I don't want you in my life, but I forgive you, but
Yeah.
I don't have space in my life for you
No more.
anymore.
No more.
Our journey is over. I wish you the best. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
an enemy at all, because
Mm-mm.
I want to see everybody win. I'm still going to be
Exactly.
cheering for you just from afar,
From over
because
here.
that's who I am,
I
but
hope you're happy.
yeah, but
Yeah.
if it's not making me happy, it's not making me better, it's not making me money,
Not worried
I
about
don't
it.
want it in my space.
Not worried about it.
And I think the older you get, you really, get to that point where, you really
Honey.
understand how precious. And with all the things that happened this last year in my life, man, the tragic brevity of time, like,
Yeah.
I'm not wasting my time.
On
I when I
anything.
want to do something, if I want to go on a trip, I'm going. I'm
Yeah.
not waiting XYZ. I might not be here in
Right.
October. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm gonna do it now. Now, if you want to do it
Yes.
later, I can go
That's
back and
on
do it
you.
with you. But I live my life with an urgency.
Present,
Yes,
conscious, in alignment.
we
Because when
all
you're in
should.
that space, you know when not, how to, and you do that. But you need
Yes.
to be able to hear and hear clearly that conversation, because if you don't have that relationship with God, you're in a world of trouble. You need
Yeah.
to really do something about that so you can hear and make the right decisions. And like now is it. There is no procrastination. Not when you
Yeah.
could have been out of here and remembering that, like, gosh, I could have been gone. It would have been like, what, 13 years now? Like, who? Oh, no.
I always think about people like, I would never know. I mean, I'm not going to say never. I don't know what the universe has for me, but
Right?
I always think about, when people like are on their deathbed and they always say, because I actually have had people, friends that were on their deathbed and they,
Mm-hmm.
was like, some were like, I wish I had done this and I wish I had done that. I'm not going to say that, because
No,
when I tell you everything that I've pretty much wanted to do, I've
I
done.
did.
Well, except traveling. My travel, I'm up in my game with that. I
Do
have done
it.
international traveling, but
Do
I'm
it.
really about to do it. But,
Do it.
that's it. But for the most part, I don't put off what I want to do, because, losing my parents and my brother, my sibling and my friend and all that,
Right.
and it just makes you look at time
It's ground shaking.
so differently. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful that I did the work, and I'm no longer that broken girl, but I'm a whole person
That's the beauty.
now, and and I'm
Yeah.
out here making a difference and making a
Hmm.
change,
Right.
and making a difference in the world, and that alone
It's
is a
powerful.
blessing,
Yeah, it's the
you
most
know.
powerful thing to be able to do. And it
Yeah.
comes from it comes from the wounds. It
Yeah.
comes from that. And definitely I push you. You need to go and travel. But I've never been that person to sit and talk about it. I've always been that one to
And
just
that's
go.
good. That's good. Yeah.
It's been that, but that was just a part of my makeup, even back then. Making plans to go to Europe for the first time. I had a girlfriend, we were going to go. She had to back out last minute. She said, "Well, I guess we'll go another time." I said, "No, I guess you'll go another time."
Yeah.
I
Sometimes you got to do
went.
it by yourself.
Uh-huh.
I
You
don't
think I
mind.
didn't? You think I didn't fly off to Italy
Yeah.
like that? Greece. I went to Greece the first time by
Yeah.
myself. And it was just like, you'll see pictures. And was there a couple, 2.5 weeks. Went there, stayed, had the time of my life, flew back. It's about that. Live your
Yeah,
life
just live
while
your
you have
life
it, you know?
with an urgency, and
Yeah.
and a lot of times, like because I was a single mother, for
Hmm.
years, struggling and all
Yeah.
that, but it's like it's so many things that you can do that don't even cost money, a lot of
Nothing.
money.
Right.
It's like the small things, the simple things, but just live as best you can, whatever your situation allows, but know that you are loved and you are worthy and you are amazing and you can
Yes.
accomplish anything. And anybody
Anything.
that tells you you can't,
Liar.
remove them,
Liar.
remove them,
Yeah.
because you can accomplish
Today.
anything that you want to do. You just make your mind up, set a
Do it.
plan, and put it in motion.
Motion.
But
It's
don't
like that.
accept anything less than what you deserve, because when it comes to that, there are no discounts. There are full price, and we
Honey.
put weights on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Too
the way I see
expensive.
it.
Yes. You
Yes.
have to do that. And
Yeah.
it's like probably 1,000,001 messages. And what we can do is go in after the broadcast and respond to them. However, you were going to
Oh, it
do a
is?
reading. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You
Let
were
me
going to do
see.
a reading.
Yeah, let me find what I want to share.
And if you want to contact Felicity, she's on every single social media, Felicity Love.
Yeah. Okay. This is one I'm going to this hashtag is called, it says do the work for you. So this is the
Okay.
page that I'm reading from. And
Okay.
you see I said in one of my pictures I said I finally found my smile, and there isn't a person walking who can take it from me ever again. But this piece, it says, most of my life I thought that God hated me. I thought that my entire life would be filled with hurt, pain, and despair. I contemplated suicide almost every day for the first 30 something years of my life. I was abused, raped, and went through 15 and a half years of domestic violence. I had been so broken that I never thought I would ever find true happiness. Hell, I never even knew what happiness was at that time. I sought acceptance in men and countless people who would abuse and mistreat me. Crazy, because at the time I thought that love was supposed to hurt. I begged men to love me and accepted whatever they did to me with open arms. Even when they cheated, I never left. I was so low and I had no self love. Yet there was a yearning deep within me. I knew that there was something better for me. I felt it in my soul. I remember my daughter and oldest son watching me being beaten, sometimes to the point that I thought this man would surely end my life. I would get up and wash my blood from my face and body, and then cook and sit at the table like it was nothing. I remember the day so clear when I made the decision to walk away, not having a clue as to where I was going, but I knew I couldn't stay in the space that I was in. I needed some healing and self care because I didn't want to continue to attract the things and people that had previously been a part of my life. I was so scared, and it was so hard, but I did the work. I am now in a space that defies words. I am truly happy. No more acting. I have the most amazing tribe. I am covered in love. And most of all, I love me. These days, I dance with joy. I laugh as though I am a child. I am at peace. My life may not be perfect, but it is simply amazing and it is mine. I smile because I am totally free. I will never allow anyone to break or abuse me again. It was hell getting there, but I did it. And guess what? You can too.
Amen.
And that's that piece. Thank you. Words to Life on Amazon by
Love.
Felicity Love. I'm so proud of this
Yes.
book.
You
And I've
should be
gotten
very proud
really
of that book.
great reviews. Yeah, I've really gotten great reviews. So I feel really, really good about that. I just want, oh, you just don't
Oh,
understand. Only way I could tell people how much love and compassion I have for people, I would literally have to take my heart out my chest and place it in yours for you to
yeah.
understand how much
Yeah.
love I have for people.
Yes.
I'm so
I
serious.
get it. And for anybody who doesn't, I pray that you can someday, sooner than later, be able to feel how amazing that is. It's literally a life change. You step out
Yes.
of one layer of skin into a new layer of skin. And then you wonder, oh my gosh, I really wish I had done this sooner. However, it wasn't time for it then. Every
Right.
situation you've gone through, you had to
Yes.
go through it to build that thickness, to build that wisdom, that knowledge, that discernment. All of those things come when you are bruised, battered, your armor's banged up, your shining spotlight on your scars. All of these things had to happen in order for you
Yes.
to become
Who you
as you
are.
continue to grow. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm still growing. I'm still evolving. I'm still working
Yeah.
on me. I'm still figuring
Every
it
day.
out. But what I know is if it costs me my peace, if it costs me my happiness, if it costs me my sanity, I don't want it. I'm
It's got to
good.
go.
It
It's got to
has to
go.
go.
Can't live
I
here.
won't. I will not.
It's
Do
too
that to myself
expensive. It took too
again.
much to get
Mm-mm.
there, and then you start
Yes.
feeling it. You start feeling it in your chest. That is the last conversation we're having.
Yeah.
Trust me.
And now
Without
I can walk
explanation
away. I can walk away from,
and say nothing. Like, okay,
and I'm so good with that because we always try to hold on to things and we think, oh my God, if this person leaves or whatever, my world is gonna be over.
nope.
But every time I let something go, man, the things that were brought to me after that, the
Yes.
gifts that I received, man, it was better. Every time
Yes.
something goes, something better is gonna come along.
Right.
And you gonna have them moments where you just feel like you gonna die.